everybody. How you doing? How you feeling? What's up? What's up? Hello. So, I feel like we should have fun today while I share some stories from the conference. Well, I have to say, to be honest, I met lots of interesting people there, like Ayan Hirsi Ali, the former Prime Minister of Slovenia, just randomly naming a few, Stefan from Weisgard. Who else did I meet? Well, Joseph from Israel's advocacy movement, but it's not the first time I'm meeting him. We actually met several times already. Each time we meet, we're like, we need to do something, we need to collab, and then we forget. Met some viewers, met people from Sweden, met people from all over. Super exciting. And I want to take a moment to acknowledge the party of Marine Le Pen, and I want to talk about her thing a little bit. But I have to say that the party that represented France in this conference, the anti-Semitism conference, was Le Pen's party, where Bardella, I hope I pronounce his name correctly, gave a speech against anti-Semitism and had basically said that your enemies are our enemies and we all have the same enemies and nations of the world unite. Nationalists of different countries unite. Met people from really Natasha Hausdorff that I love personally. Yes, okay, so from Get a Getco Purple Pulp, was that the conference that the left in Israel was mad about inviting right-wing people from the EU? The whole conference was so beautifully right-wing. I don't know, maybe there were like a few centrists, but in general, like there were a lot of right-wingers there. It made me so happy. It was such a beautiful conference. I loved it. Natasha should be the Empress of the... I agree. She's so cute. We didn't get to talk much, unfortunately. And I also want to say that we had a group that went to the after party part. So the Amichai Shikli, for example, was there as well. And some people, so it was like, I don't know how many, I didn't count. But we were like... So in total, we were more than 3 girls, but it was a max of 3 girls at a time. So for longest, it was Natasha, me, and Arin Mulan. And then Arin left, and my friend Karis came, who also was part of the panelists, which was hilarious. And wow, like there are things I want to talk about, but I don't know if I'm going to have friends if I'll tell you the funny parts, you know, about what Karis and I wanted to do, but we ended up not doing that because every meter somebody would stop us, especially her because she was a panelist, and interview her, which was funny, to be honest, but like I would get stopped too. So yeah, we never got to execute our secret plans at no point. So I wanted to speak to Natasha, but given the weird situationship we were at, I actually managed to to talk to Erin, like we were sitting next to each other. But after she left, like I think the guys noticed that there is like a very unfavorable ratio. So they each, like half of them went and surrounded Natasha and the other half went and surrounded me, basically. Which is like, this is how I feel about it. That's my excuse. But yeah, she was cute. But maybe it was because I don't know. I also met Gadi Taub there. He was also in the after party. He was very nice. Ami Kozak, seriously. A lot of people. I'm still wrapping my mind around it. I met, yeah, Ayan Hirsi. I don't know if I said it or not. And I thought maybe we'll start with to warm up. I'm gonna watch together the speech that Netanyahu gave in the at the international conference in the on combating anti-Semitism. And I actually watched it again after the conference because, well, while it was happening, first of all, it was something. So people went up and spoke. Even Bardella, which is a very nice-looking guy from Le Pen's party, was the who represented the French people. But now they're in jail, so I guess our situationship in France is not amazing. Not me. Marine Le Pen is going to be sent to jail. We have to talk about it more seriously. But people spoke and it was okay. But Bardella spoke French, so maybe this is why it was a bit hard to follow. It was kind of boring. He said a sentence and then the translator said a sentence. But when Netanyahu got up the stage, everybody who was like chatting, everybody just went and just look at the stage, and I have to say, like, that was like, you can feel the difference. You can feel the difference. It wasn't the only prime minister who spoke, but wow, dude has a presence. Anyway, does it mean I actually listened? No, I was busy admiring his presence. I didn't really listen to what he said. But the presence was very... So I had to watch it again afterwards, just so you know what I was supposed to be listening to. So I thought maybe we should watch it together. So what's the difference between France and Turkey? They are so much alike. Well, what is the difference? Damn, I never thought about it this way. What is the difference? I don't know. Interesting. All right, let's watch the exciting interview. Where is everybody? I feel like we're in a small group right now. Usually I feel like there is more. Yeah, there is no one here. Come on, people. Let's all just share this live with our friends so we can enjoy our stories together. Navedomi was hosting. Listen, I was busy. I met a lot of people there, and I try to figure out who I like, who I don't like, and the way I understand who I like or don't like is by how open they are to gossip. You might say this is a weird way to check how trustworthy people are. Maybe if they like gossiping, they're less trustworthy, but it might be my own personal preferences where I just like gossip and I like people who give it to me. So don't ask me about who was up there. I can't even keep up with everybody I exchanged information with, to be honest, and they were people. Like, they were incredible people. Like, I cannot even wrap my mind about around the crazy, amazing people I've met. Oh, she's on screen. Oops, I don't know who she is, to be honest. I know those who came and said their name to me. Hopefully. No promises there. And also there are so many famous people. Like, every time there's somebody like or people like introduced me to someone, I just looked at them and I was like, please give me a clue whether I'm supposed to know who this person is or not. And with Steven from Spice Girl, it was super funny because he realized like I don't recognize that much like some people, and he was like, no, this is great. There are several people I think their egos are too much in the sky, so the fact that you don't know who they are is incredible. Keep it up. We need to bring their egos down. It was hilarious. So yeah, now you know. I don't know who Nave Tomi is. I don't know who she is. So hello, I'm seeing that people are coming in. I feel like, yes, okay. No, where is everybody? Where is everybody? What's happening? Nobody wants to hear about the anti-Semitism conference. Was it a mistake to choose this kind of topic? I mean, maybe I shouldn't have, because to be honest, I bet some of the stories that might slip from out of me might get me in a little bit of a trouble. I don't know. No, anyway, let's watch what Netanyahu said. Okay. By the way, at that point, I'm gonna show you. I did important things. I'm just gonna share what I was doing at that part.
I am honored to invite Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu to address us. Please rise in honor of the Prime Minister of Israel, Mr. Benjamin Netanyahu.
Here. So at that, one second. Why don't you stop for a second? No stopping. Anyway, this is what I was doing at that moment. Oh, what? Here. Ta-da! That happened in parallel.
Minister Shikli, thank you for hosting this conference. And all of you, distinguished guests who have come here, I want to start with two words. Thank you. Thank you for coming to Jerusalem. Thank you for standing with Israel. Thank you for standing with the Jewish people. Thank you for standing with the forces of civilization against the forces of barbarism. I say barbarism because anti-Semitism is a disease carried by barbarians that threaten all civilized societies.
The whole time I was thinking, one second. The whole time I was thinking, like after when I was listening to his speech, maybe during, maybe afterwards, I was listening to his messages and I was like, oh, wow, he has the same messages as me. He must be a smart man. He's saying things I'm saying, so he must be smart.
It was often said that few, if any, foresaw its horrors. This is patently not true. Herzl saw it at the turn of the 20th century. He wrote more than 30 times about the impending destruction of European Jewry. He wrote, and I quote, "The stone is rolling down the mountain slope to the bottom, the absolute bottom. Will there be devastation? Will there be confiscation? Will they expel us? Will they murder us? I anticipate all these things and more. Jabotinsky, a student of Herzl, saw this clearly. In 1938, he stood in Warsaw and issued a final desperate call to his fellow Jews. He said, "You are blind, you do not see, but those who do see, save yourselves, leave now." Another person who saw it was my father, the late Professor Ben-Zion Netanyahu. He issued his own prescient warning 5 years earlier, in 1933, with the rise of Hitler. He was 23 years old, and he wrote what appears, in hindsight, to be an astonishing prophecy. I quote, "Racial anti-Semitism is inciting a global war against the existence of the Jews as a race that poisons human society. If racial anti-Semitism spreads, it will not only endanger Jewish rights, but the existence of Jewish people everywhere. In the face of the Holocaust facing the Jewish people, the Holocaust," my father wrote, "our role is to repeatedly remind the entire world what Germany is inculcating to its own sons. We can only crush racial anti-Semitism if we prove that German racism is not directed at Jews alone. We must convince others that Hitler's attacks on the Jews of Germany is an attack on human society as a whole." End quote. Perhaps the history of the 20th century and the fate of
Okay, I'm gonna pause here for the sake of copyright issues, which, to be honest, I don't remember exactly if I get them with Netanyahu. I get them with Trump sometimes after a long time, but still. I really like that approach where he says we have to explain that the Nazis are not only going to hurt Jews, they're going to hurt everyone. So I stopped for a second just to emphasize that this is really also what I think, right? This is what I based my channel around. Believing that this is not just a fight for the Jewish people. Once you start this stupid idea of building pyramid societies, it's not that it ends with the Jews. It never does. It never will. So I appreciate that. I'm gonna move myself a little so I won't hear. Okay.
multitudes, including 6 million Jews, would have been different if more had paid heed to such warnings at the time. Today we issue a similar warning. The fate of free societies is tied to their willingness to fight the scourge of anti-Semitism. For anti-Semitism legitimizes and unleashes wanton violence against a part of human society just because of the identity of its members. Not because of anything they do, but because of who they are. And once this principle is practiced on one group, it has no limits. 80 years ago, this deadly virus destroyed a third of the Jewish people. Its virulent mutations under the Nazis claimed the lives of millions more until it was stamped out by unrelenting Allied military force. Now this hatred has reemerged. It has reemerged through its radical Islamist carriers in Yemen, Iran, Lebanon, Gaza, and elsewhere. These anti-Semites wish to destroy not only the Jewish state, they seek to destroy the forces of modernity in the Arab and Muslim world. They seek to drag it back to a primitive and violent medievalism. Nowhere was this fanaticism better demonstrated than on October 7th. The Hamas monsters who attacked us on that day beheaded our men, raped our women, and burnt our babies. They took 251 innocent people hostage, including grandmothers, including their grandchildren. We brought back 196 of these hostages, 147 of them alive. We are determined to bring all of them home. But here's what we learned that day, for those who needed to learn it. We learned that if they could, these savage Hamas killers would murder all of us, down to the last man, woman, and child. And this hatred, as Chancellor Scholz of Germany told me, he said, they're not different from the Nazis. They're exactly the same as the Nazis. That is true. But today, the Jewish people are in a different position from where we were on the eve of the Holocaust. The Holocaust comprised of 5,000 October 7th. 5,000. The scattered and defenseless Jewish people were totally powerless to resist it. This is not the case today. Today we have a state. Today we have an army. Today we can defend ourselves. And today we do defend ourselves. Our brave soldiers, our brave, incredibly brave soldiers, rolled back the terrorist tide. They boldly fight against our would-be destroyers. For 18 months, they have fought like lions on 7 fronts. On October 7th, we were surprised.
I see some people in the comments have doubts about what happened on October 7th. So I'm trying to see if I can show you a PDF that is basically a report that was done by the Brits, actually not Israelis, that shows and really demonstrates all the atrocities that had happened on October 7th. Actually, on a second thought, like showing you those photos and report might get me demonetized as well, but you know what? Do you guys want to see it? Do you? Let me know. Maybe I will show it. Okay, you guys want to see it? I'll need to look for the link.
We had a terrible, terrible massacre. And many believed that Israel was on the verge of extinction. Nasrallah put it very clearly. He said the Jewish state, the Jewish army, that's no more than a spider's web, and it could be easily swept aside. Well, a year and a half later, Nasrallah is gone, Haniya is gone, Sinwar is gone, Def is gone, and Assad is gone.
I also have here, by the way, that I opened in parallel, the interview that Netanyahu had with Gadi Taub. So it's in Hebrew, but I saw that they recently published a version with subtitles. And there is a point there where he talks about Nasrallah and his actual role, that he said that he realized that more than Iran tells Nasrallah what to do, Nasrallah told Iran what to do. And people are saying yes, no, please, okay, sharing the link. I think I'll maybe share like glimpses of it, nothing with photos, no photos, just some graphs, if you're okay with that. And since I downloaded the PDF, I'm not sure where the link is at. But I think you can look for it pretty easily. So, it's interesting. The day that the interview with Netanyahu was published is actually the day that I met Gadi Taub, and till now I didn't watch it all the way through. But he told me like that it was like it's pretty hard, and I said like, well, it wasn't the first time you interviewed him, but he said yes, but last time I interviewed him he was in the opposition, and it was a completely different type of interview. He was very excited about it, and I was like, of course I'll watch it, but I didn't watch it all the way, but I did open it, and complicated. It's not easy to get an interview with Netanyahu, even when he was there, right? He just came and left immediately. He came, gave a speech, and then ran away. And I was thinking, like, imagine, like, if everyone there, and everybody there were, like, famous people, okay? I was, like, a cute small fry. A little shrimp in a sea of sharks. Just in the ocean. But yeah, and at some point I thought like, if he had to take a selfie with everyone here, that would take so long. So it's probably pretty hard to meet up with him. Yeah, also needs to say like the security was crazy. And see, David is saying he needs to stay safe. Yeah, the security was something else. I was like, they questioned me. They questioned everyone. So with me, and Luay Ahmed also entered. So we entered together. And he is like, he gave, I think his passport is Yemeni, like he's from Yemen. I'm not sure it was, I think it was a Yemenite passport, or at least it said he's a Yemenite. And the security guard, like they didn't know anyone. I'm like, Luay was pretty famous, but they didn't know who he was, and she was like, "What? There's a person from Yemen here," and then everybody were like, "He's okay, he's okay." But I got like they question everybody, me included, and I said like I have a YouTube channel, and she asked me, the security people were like, "Okay, and in your YouTube channel, are you pro-Israel or anti-Israel?" And I look at them, I was like, I do geopolitics, actually. But like personally, I'm right-wing, like right-leaning. And she looked at me, I was like, is it a Hasbara channel? And I look at her, I was like, well, it's not exactly Hasbara. Like, I don't really try to defend Israel much. At least this is not what I feel I'm doing. I'm trying to be honest. I show the ugly and the not ugly. Anyway, listen, if you go through security to go meet, to be in a place where Netanyahu goes, just say you do Hasbara, okay? This is just an asterisk for future me. They literally, like, it was so funny because there were several security teams, and there was one person that was naked, like, okay, I'm the security team of the morning, and I check these people, they are okay. And the afternoon security team was like, no, we are a different security team. We have our own procedures. We don't care what you did in the morning. It was amazing, but it made me feel it's like it's good, it's how it's supposed to be. Da, 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 da.
We have battered Hamas. We have brought Hezbollah to its knees. We destroyed the remnants of Syria's army. We hit the Houthis with the great help of our American allies. and we exposed Iran's vulnerability. We have changed, we are changing the face of the Middle East. We are giving it a new future. Yet as we win the war against the forces of anti-Semitism in the Middle East, the fires of anti-Semitism rage in the heart of Western civilization. They rage in Europe's capitals, in the Western press, in social media. They rage in America's elite universities. I went to one of them. I can't believe
There is no sound. Oh my God. As I said, speaking of students, I was saying that the students, like Shabbos and Eyal and others that had given testimonies in the Congress, were also there, right? They were also in that conference. So actually, it's not the first time I met Shabbos Kestenbaum, I think that's his last name. He's really funny. Talks fast. He talks so fast. It's impressive. Like you get him on stage, and it's amazing because he says so much in such a short time. It's like he's used to only having 1 minute to say something, and he has a lot to say. So just amazing. Anyway, just unrelated, but they were also there. Like literally, all the cool people were there. And at the same time, all the annoying, uncool people that were unhappy about the people that were invited to that conference, like Bardella and I guess other right-wing parties from Europe that were there, were busy protesting about bullshit in Kaplan.
that in Boston, in Cambridge, in MIT where I went to school, in nearby Harvard, in Columbia and New York, and elsewhere, people are demonstrating.
I have a cousin that went to MIT, and there are second cousin. There are rumors that she fell prey to wokeism. So, yeah. Kind of lost a couple people, which is amazing. Like, can you believe it that I have relatives that fell into the woke trap? I don't know. I mean,
With passion, these ignorant demonstrators. Who are they demonstrating for? For these murderers, these rapists, these mass killers. This is a reflection of a deep rot that has pervaded the intellectual hub of free societies. And this vilification of Israel, the Jewish people, and Western values has been propagated by a systemic alliance between the ultra-progressive left and radical Islam. It must be resolutely fought by civilized societies to safeguard their future. This is why we must all commend President Trump's decisive actions against anti-Semitism, and we must pressure other governments to do the same. I know that you share this resolve to fight anti-Semitism. That's why you're here. That's why I salute your coming here to Jerusalem, to express your refusal to cower before anti-Semitism. Now you have come from many lands, I welcome all those from across the political spectrum, be they from the left or from the right, who realize that anti-Semitism is intrinsically evil and that it threatens their own future. I salute you for coming to Jerusalem. And as for the Jewish people, well, many wonder why anti-Semitism has persisted from the Middle Ages down to modern times. The answer to this is complex, but it has two powerful and prominent elements. Throughout the course of their wanderings, the Jewish people suffered from a deadly duality. They were prominent, but they were also weak. And this deadly duality invited envy and aggression with horrendous consequences down the ages. The nations of the world have long been habituated to regard the Jew as a helpless victim, totally powerless before plunder, pillage, and pogrom. Well, you know from your own lives and from the lives of nations, old habits die hard. Sometimes it takes more than a generation to effect a change of perception. Our tormentors are now undergoing a change of perception. They realize.
Is it going to say something about some Israelis that also didn't have that switch in their minds? Wait, what? I wasn't what? Wait, what? I wasn't. What do you mean? What are you talking? K dot. Okay, I know you. You're just a weird person. I've seen you before. Ah, okay, I wasn't in the conference. Right. You say that because I don't have any photos to prove it. Exactly. Hi.
A simple truth. We are no longer powerless. We are no longer weak. As Herzl predicted in 1896, the Maccabees, he said, the Maccabees will rise again. The Jews who wish for a state will have it. We shall live at last as free men on our own soil. The world will be freed by our liberty, enriched by our wealth, magnified by our greatness. And whatever we accomplish there for our own welfare will powerfully benefit all of humanity. All this has happened. Israel is a fount of innovation, of progress, which we share with all of humanity. But the most important change is this. Our soldiers are truly the modern Maccabees. We refuse to surrender to terrorism. We do not bow our head to anti-Semitism. We fight back. We do so on the battlefields of the Middle East, and with your help, we will fight anti-Semitism on the intellectual and political battlefields of the world. There is only one basic requirement for winning this war. I was recently in Washington, where I met President Trump, but I took time to meet 50 Jewish students, the leaders of tomorrow. They told me how they were being harassed on campus, violently harassed. One student told me that he was facing the dean of the university, who invited one of the Hamas killers to give a lecture in an elite American university. And I said, well, what are you doing about it? He said, I'm suing him. I said, good for you. This is exactly what you should be doing. Do not apologize. Do not bow your head. Stand strong. Stand together. And I say this to all of you. Thank you for your clarity. Thank you for your courage. God bless you all. God bless the Jewish people. And God bless the many friends of Israel here and around the world. Thank you.
Muted. Hello. Wait, I'm saying there were funny comments here. And I also opened up the PDF file so I can show you some things. For those who are confused and need a reminder. I mean, it's a bit different. I actually wanted to talk about La Pen right now. But I'll just show you the report. And that I have somebody was like that I had to take selfies, like, guys, I was joking when I said I don't have photos from the event. Of course I took some photos. I think I have a selfie where you can see the speech in the background as well. I need to get a new phone, to be honest. This phone sucks. Oh, I also got myself a new toy. You guys want to see? Do you guys want to have like an unpacking? Do you think if I'll talk about it and I'll give you a review, that then I'll start getting like sponsorships and stuff from these kind of companies that do things like that? So, because I'm going to London and I only have like a heavy camera, I thought like, okay, I need something for the street. And I'm gonna have like a lot of interviews there. And yes, gonna meet people. I think there is somebody from UKIP I might meet, and people like somebody who knows Farage as well. Maybe I'll get to hear all the deets. Are you guys interested in things like that? Are you guys interested about like the politics in the UK and stuff? Okay, my computer is a bit slow. Am I meeting Tusi? I actually like I thought maybe I'll get to meet him. I know like he goes and reviews like the protests sometimes and things like that, which I don't know if they're happening when I'm there. Thank you, Patrick, for your support, and you guys please do support this channel via super chats, or even better, buy me coffee like Patrick did right now. Thank you, Patrick, you're amazing. So I'm kind of interested. Are you guys interested in let me ask you, I should get like here, let me start an interview, a poll. Okay, what do you think is interesting in UK? And I say politics, shit. Anti-Israel protests and the future of the UK. Islamists. Oh no. Okay, the future of UK is Islamists, so I'm gonna unite those. And the Jewish community. All right. Oh yeah, the grooming gangs. That's another topic. I don't know why I did a poll, actually, because you should be able to vote on more than one subject. Oops. Oh well. So, right. And what did I want to show? Oh, I thought maybe I'll show you a photo from, but I actually want to bring up the little bit of a speech that Shapiro made. I actually don't think I use his work a lot, you know, like Ben Shapiro. I feel like I don't use much of his work when I'm on my channel, but anyway, let me just show you something. So this is October 7th Parliamentary Commission report. So this is the report I was talking about, and maybe I'll make sure, like if you, I'll show you some things from there just for those who are interested. And I give so okay, Ellie here says I should do fish and chips. UK football. I'm actually going to a Liverpool. I think I'm gonna go to like a match. Which, now that I'm thinking about, is it like hazardous to say where I'm gonna be at? I guess there are gonna be a lot of people there. I'll just dye my hair blonde or orange when I walk around in England now, because you guys scared me in the comments when I asked you about the UK. People are like, don't go there, it's dangerous, stay safe, it's scary. And this is from people who live there. And I was like, oh, maybe I should cancel the flight. I don't know.
And meanwhile, in absolutely extraordinary news, this really is crazy. A court has now banned Marine Le Pen, who is very, very likely to win the next election in France, from seeking public office for 5 years. This is crazy. And this is part and parcel of a broader attempt by left-wing judiciary activists across the globe to stop, quote-unquote, populist politicians from being able to run. We saw it with President Trump, where the DOJ went after President Trump for supposed crimes that they then let Joe Biden off the hook for. We saw it in New York, where a New York attorney general filed a civil fraud lawsuit in an attempt to stop President Trump. We have seen it in Brazil, where the entire judicial apparatus has been brought down on the head of Jair Bolsonaro, the former president of Brazil, in favor of Lula da Silva, who was then freed by that same exact judiciary. We have seen it in Romania. There was a candidate named Georgescu who won an election in 2024, and then the judiciary found, they said, that basically the election...
You guys are scaring me in the chat. Everybody is like, don't go to the UK. UK is scary. London is scary. The food is bad. I actually want to say that okay, so I was in London before, and my first impression in London was, oh my God, the food is awful. But since there are more immigrants now, it improved. But well, when I made my first video on how the UK was taken over, I talked about like what I perceived as the United Kingdom like unique weakness, which is a terrible food. So at first they had like a few immigrants, and I was like, oh my God, good food, and people were like, oh, they must be good people because they know how to cook. And then I said like, but at some point not everybody can open a restaurant, right? So you just have to have enough immigrants to feed yourselves, which is not a lot. And after that, it's like repetitive. You don't need them anymore. They can even teach you how to cook, like the local population. And some Brits in the comments were like, our food is not that bad. And I was like, let's be honest. Everybody are like, oh, UK scary, you guys. Somebody here is smart, saying I look Lebanese, so I can get away with it. But this is the problem. This is how Arabs know I'm Jewish. I've seen it happen a lot of times. They look, and those who look Arabs to them, like they say a sentence, they hear that they don't have an Arab accent or they don't look from the culture because of what we wear, and they know we're Jews. So I think somebody said, like, I look Lebanese. Well, this is exactly how Arabs know I'm Jewish.
Election been rigged by the Russians, and they
Right?
just said that the election didn't count
Okay,
at
let's
all.
go back a little bit.
Been brought down on the head of Jair Bolsonaro, the former president of Brazil, in favor of Lula da Silva, who was then freed by that same exact judiciary. We have seen it in Romania. There's a candidate named Georgescu who won an election in 2024, and then the judiciary found, they said, that basically the election had been rigged by the Russians, and they just said that the election didn't count at all. We have seen it in Israel, where the Attorney General of Israel has been going after Benjamin Netanyahu on specious charges for literally years at this point, and the judiciary keeps saying that Netanyahu can't do like the basic functions of an executive, like fire his Attorney General or fire anybody in the executive branch. It's pretty crazy. And now we are seeing it in France.
Right.
It is
I want to also add in Israel now there is
amazing to watch these unelected officials going out of their way to thwart the will of the people in supposed democracies. It's
Pause. Thank you. Sorry. So I was saying my computer is not unhappy about me running too many things at the same time, especially the streaming. And I didn't close my editing program, so it's crying. Anyway, I was about to say there is now a new bullshit in Israel that they call Qatargate because they try to be cool like the Americans. Watergate, Russian Gate, and now we have Israeli Qatargate, which, gee, if you have such a pathetic naming, that says everything. Anyway, it's such a ridiculous accusation, which even Attila Shumpumplo, whatever, a left-wing writer that is a left-wing journalist that most of the time I just get annoyed by his leftism, was like, you know what? I don't get this. What's happening? Like, is there actually a case here? Like, and I was like, whoa, this case is so idiotic that even a left-wing journalist that is usually very annoying yeah, I see somebody just sent me they sent me a October 7th photo which is not graphic. Okay, so just popped. I don't know if you just saw the telegram pop, like jumping. Sorry. So I forgot what I was saying. It was just jumping in my ass. It just annoyed me. But yeah, it's such an annoying Katagate. Like when I say, like, if the leftist journalist is honest enough to say that he checked it and he was like, is there even a case here? It sounds like so, like, then, yeah, like, it's just, like, I cannot even explain to you because it's so ridiculous. It would sound like I'm joking. It sounds like an April Fool's joke, but it's real.
Really insane. You want to talk about undermining democracy itself? This undermines democracy because the reaction to this is, okay, well, what if we just overthrow the judicial institutions? That's going to be the reaction. According to the Wall Street Journal, a French court convicted Marine Le Pen of misusing EU funds, sentencing her to prison and banning her from France's next presidential election. Judges handed down a sentence on Monday that bars Le Pen from seeking public office for the next 5 years. Le Pen also received a 4-year prison sentence, half of which was suspended. The ruling takes Le Pen out of contention for the 2027 race when President Emmanuel Macron finishes his second and final term. She was expected to be the front runner. The court ruled that Le Pen and other members of her party illegally used millions of euros in EU funding that was earmarked for assistance helping lawmakers in the EU Parliament with their work. Instead, judges said, Le Pen and her lawmakers used the money to pay party staffers who weren't involved in work for Parliament. So just to get this straight, they're putting her in jail for 2 years and banning her from running for 5 because her party, which sits in the European Parliament, was paid money by the EU to help lawmakers, and those aides did work for both Le Pen's party and the lawmakers, and this is worth banning Le Pen from the election entirely over. Why do I feel like this is a put-up job? I mean, the answer is because it's a put-up job. Judges applied provisional execution to Le Pen's ban. That means it takes effect immediately, even if Le Pen appeals Monday's ruling. Her prison sentence remains suspended while any appeals are underway, which I think shows exactly where they are. The big thing is get her out of the elections. That is the big thing. So they're suspending her jail sentence, but they are not suspending banning her from running. I wonder what their goal is. Hard to imagine. Le Pen has denied the charges. She testified it was appropriate for the assistants to perform other party-related work because they were political aides, not direct employees of the European Parliament. In other words, they didn't work for... If the European Parliament wanted them working on just European Parliament stuff, maybe the European Parliament should have hired them as opposed to paying the party to do some of the work for the European Parliament. Seems like a fairly strong defense. Is the idea here that Marine Le Pen desperately needed a couple of million euros in order to pay off her political party? I feel like she probably could have raised it. Her party's pretty big in France. And again, this is just the latest NATO member to reject a populist candidate over some sort of judicial intervention. Pretty unbelievable. And you want to talk about, again, undermining the argument that democracy must flourish in Europe. This would be a great way to do it. Here's something shocking. Over 140,000 family farms across America have shut down since 2017. Why? Because grocery chains keep pushing.
Yeah. I also heard there was like exactly the same story that like what Le Pen is accused of happened before, and that person like at that party just got away with it with like maybe a slap on the wrist. So, oh, it says I'm laggy. You guys are saying I'm lagging. Yeah, I'm lagging. Let's skip ahead. All right. Is it better now? Am I still lagging? Guess I am. Guess I am lagging. All right, you guys, I think I'm gonna let you all go then. Maybe, since it's lagging. I don't know. What are you saying? I'm fine. People saying I'm fine. All right. All those globalists working together to just make our life miserable. Somebody here is saying Yay, inventory. Hello. Yeah, smash the like, everyone. I'm just waiting for a minute so that it wouldn't lag so much. Because I see you guys are like, no, stay, no, go, stay, go. Okay, last leg. I mean, since I'm lagging, my brain is also lagging. I'm synchronizing myself with a computer. Here is an inventory. I'm gonna show up. Hello, smash the like, everybody. It's free. And I have to say that I have edited some of the lives that I've made into chunks. So go watch them and like them, because the couple of videos, several videos I've made got a little bit less views, but they're still fun. So go check them out. All right. Does anyone want to join me on Discord, by the way, today? I don't know. Yes, thank you. What? I can barely hear you. Everyone get Rebecca a coffee. Rebecca needs a coffee, clearly. Clearly, Rebecca needs coffee. Close background application and close a few tabs. You are very smart, but when I do that, it gets... Like, I did that already, to be honest. Give here whiskey or coffee. I actually changed it to books. I always feel like when I'm live, I want to talk about things that are also like unrelated, but in my live a couple of days ago, people were angry. By the way, I did it without any sleep almost. Unfortunately, a couple of days ago, I wish I slept more. This is why I edited some parts out, because I realized like I jumped from topic to topic, and some comments that I've gotten on this live stream were like, you keep jumping around and reading people's comments and we cannot keep track. And I was like, you're right. In fact, and somebody even wrote that I am mumbling like Kamala Harris. And I remembered that time where I tried to get drunk enough to sound as stupid as Kamala Harris. And apparently I was mistaken, because I thought I need to get drunk to sound mumbo jumbo like, blah, 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 like Kamala Harris does. But apparently I just had to be tired. No, I'm not on 4K. All right, you guys saying they have, again, there are lagging issues. Fun. Cannot even share any stories with you. You know what? You guys. Am I lagging again? Probably. I just want to have fun with you all. Doing this live. Everything going to shit. I wonder if I have any French viewers here. How do you feel about Le Pen going to get imprisoned? I actually think, right, so her dad was known to be like this famous anti-Semite. Is it turning in the grave right now? Because Le Pen really does collaborate a lot with Jews in France. And also, like, there are a lot of famous Jews, like big names in the community that are really supporting her and her party, which makes me think it's funny how things turn around, right? Oh, people are saying it's working fine. Yay. Yay. Is it a miracle? Is it a miracle? Oh, yeah. Yeah, it got back to working. Who would have thought? Who would have thought? So, yeah, I'm just wondering, like, is her dad, like, disappointed with her? And what happened to the party that he had led in the past that was so proudly anti-Semitic, just for the generation afterwards to realize that a good nationalist is actually a person that comes with the Jews. It's so funny. He also talked about the importance of the Jewish community in France or something like that, which was very nice of him. But like when he said that, like my thought was like, I'm with you, but like, how about you send them over here? I know it sounds like I prefer them to be here. I don't know. I feel like anyway, I'm sure the Islamists are pushing them out anyway. So yeah. Do you have an opinion on South African stuff? About the plan to genocide the white people there? Here's the thing, my chat is laggy, so I'm having troubles to showing you. Like Shauna, thank you for your support and sending a super chat. You guys send more super chats and buy more coffees. Seriously. How can I create content without coffee or books or whiskey or super chats? It's impossible. And I don't know if I'm still lagging or not, but I know the chat is lagging, so that's a problem. But thank you, Shauna. I'll show your super chat once my computer starts cooperating. I actually made a video about it. You guys remember? About what when people were interviewing. Oh, I kind of want to open that. Do you guys want to see it? Do you guys remember this video? Who remembers the video I made about the election in France? And that I did like one of my breaking the language barrier videos. And I showed the video where like there was an article in the Israeli media where they went to Netanyahu, which is where all the French Jews are, and they asked them what they think about the elections, and they were like, all like, what? Why? I want to show that now since we're talking about France. It was funny. Yeah. So, what do I think about this South Africa stuff? If you have an opinion, I don't know. I think you should get all the white people away from there, maybe, or reinstall the apartheid. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know what to tell you. I don't think it goes anywhere nice. France. Found it. Da, 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 da. Look at me, I used to be so young. Who is this person? Look at how young I used to be 8 months ago. You say this is how stuck my computer is. This is why it's like... You missed it. Oh, Mariana says she remembers it. Oh, you guys are so sweet. You're young like you look this.
Balagan. France, it's fini. La France aurait dû rester au front. Le Pen. Mélenchon, c'est un antisémite. Il aime pas les Juifs.
It's a different person. Who is she?
Il y a que la Palestine qui sort de sa bouche.
Hi guys, so today in breaking the language barrier, the language that is gonna be broken barrier of English card language, do not speak it, sorry. That's gonna be mostly French, which I don't speak, but there are subtitles, so I can translate the subtitles that are in Hebrew.
I think my teeth
Actually,
look
maybe
whiter.
if it's in French, then it's gonna be easier to put the actual subtitles that are in English that would translate properly what they're saying. But I'm gonna translate it anyway. So this is in Netanya. So Netanya is a city that has a very high percentage population of French Jews. By the way, most French Jews are actually...
I knew it. Like I cannot say
Morocco
French Jews
and
without
Algeria.
saying that
And
they're
actually
Moroccan and
Northern
Algerian.
Africa, they are French. So they are going around and asking just people on the street there that if you know the center of Netanya, you'd know that your chances of encountering someone who is from France is basically 50%. Really, really high. So I think, and I watched this clip and I thought it would be funny. So what do Israeli Jews that are also French citizens think about the elections in France?
מה את חושבת על הבחירות עכשיו בצרפת, מה שהיה?
Catastrophe. Balagan. France, it's fini. La France aurait dû rester aux Français et
France should have
malheureusement,
stayed France,
la
but
partie
the
de
left
gauche,
is
ce n'est
against
pas
the
pour les
French.
Français.
ואתמול בבחירות הצבעת?
Did you vote yesterday?
Mélenchon
Who
mal?
did you
Il
vote
ne peut pas y
like?
avoir un futur s'il y a Mélenchon
It's
qui est
like
là.
there is no future if Mélenchon is there. I voted for, she voted for Marine Le Pen.
Everybody said that
C'est
they
Hitler.
voted for
Non,
Marine
Hitler.
Le Pen.
היטלר.
Bien sûr,
She's
non,
who
c'est
is
impossible. Il ne
Hitler.
peut pas gérer la France.
את חושבת שלפן באמת השתנתה?
The Mélenchon is
Le Pen
Hitler.
Non, elle n'est pas
different.
comme son père.
And you're like, no, she's not
Elle
like
aime
her
la
dad.
France et elle ne veut
She
pas
loves France.
d'extrémistes.
She doesn't
Elle
want
ne veut pas
extremism.
de personnes qui
She doesn't
gâchent
want
la
the people
France,
who
qui
ruined
cassent la
France,
qui
that
brûlent la
break France,
qui
that
volent la France. Enfin, il faut quelqu'un
put
qui
France
tienne
on
les
fire,
rênes, qui
that
construise,
steal France.
qui gère
They
vraiment le
need
pays.
somebody who actually
Non,
gonna
je peux revenir. Non, plus
build the
jamais.
country. And I was like, are you gonna go back? And I was like, no, not going back.
רגע אחרי שפורסמו התוצאות הסופר דרמטיות בבחירות בצרפת,
I don't know.
Subtitles. Oh yeah, awesome.
ישראל, נתניה, כדי לדבר עם אנשים שחיים פה, הרי להרבה מהם יש זכות בחירה, גם הם יכלו לצאת ולהצביע. כאילו לשאול, למי הם הצביעו, לשמאל, לימין, מה הם חושבים על מה שקרה שם. האמת היא שהתוצאות, מה זה הפתיעו אותנו? כמה שנים האלה.
Okay. And they says like the results really surprised him. I have to say the only reason he got surprised is because he comes from a left-leaning. I mean, to be honest, compared to other news channels in Israel, it's like more center-leaning, but center-leaning. So they're like surprised that, I'm gonna spoiler alert, they all said that they want Marine Le Pen to win, and that they are very sad that Mélenchon won, and they were all pro Marine Le Pen. Surprise. And it's like, oh, shocking. And it was like, and the comments are like, the only, and I saw, because I saw the comments only were like, only right, like, you see how detached are you from the people? You actually are shocked that most French Jews would be in favor of the right national, like the National Party of France. What's wrong with you? You guys have no idea, like, you're so biased towards your own leftist thinking. Yeah.
10 שנים?
כן.
אז איך את לא מדברת עברית?
כולם צרפתים.
יש מאז 7 באוקטובר יותר צרפתים בנתניה?
And asking, like,
This
there are
is
more
killing me.
French people
Like, why don't
every
you?
single
She lives in Netanya. She doesn't speak French because
French.
everybody is
Oui.
French. It's hilarious. Yeah, no, I'm just gonna change the source of the camera because somebody said it might help. I just turned off the camera for now. You're just hearing my voice now. But you can see it, you can still see me on camera. I just happen to have a different face there, different haircut. I think Trump is trying to get Boers refugee status, which is interesting to me because we actually do need farmers here. Yeah, that makes sense. Also, they're supposed to be like... yeah, Mike, I think you're right. I think I in the computer from dust, and I think I need to open it and open my laptop, and I think there's probably I got some accumulated dust there since I've cleaned it last time. So I think that you are correct. I just switched off the camera, so I thought it would be easier for the computer to deal with it. I don't know. Nobody's gonna see my laptop. It's very private because, like, it's embarrassing because it does need some cleaning. Not gonna lie. You guys, if you guys want me to get a new computer and stuff, but do I get any books on my Buy Me Coffee thing? No. Did anyone sign up to my course? No, not yet. Why? I don't know. This is a really good course, which I really worked hard for. So sign up to my course and buy me coffees and books, and then I can get the best equipment so that you would enjoy the best quality as well. And I also got this camera that I showed you, so I can do things in the street. So we're getting there. We're getting there, but those things are expensive. So you want good quality content and good quality everything, and then please do support this channel. I don't think you guys understand how much work is having a YouTube channel. It's like a shit ton of work. I always need to be on top of everything, like study all day and then edit and do so many things, and it's not that it's you know it's something that I do mostly because I think it's important. Being an engineer is easier, I guess. So that's what I think. So if you guys want me to get a new computer, get new stuff, please do consider supporting this channel, sharing not this live because it's laggy, but different videos with other people. Just more help me get more views, help me get whatever, share my videos, watch everything if you don't really feel like watching it. There are a lot of ways to support my channel. Like, subscribe. So, you know, even if you don't want to send money, there are a lot of ways to support this channel. Anyway, I kind of want to continue watching it because it's amusing. Come and play.
They talk a lot about this in this video is that there are a lot of French Jews that are afraid to be in France because they get really threatened a lot, and one even
des gens comme ça, de gauche, les manifestations, yesh bayapo, mais kulam beyachad, ze yudim. On tombe, on se ramasse.
I love this. Is like she says, like in Israel, you fall and you get up. In France, no, something falls down, nobody's gonna pick it up.
En France, tu vois quelqu'un tomber, il ramasse pas. Moi ici, j'ai pas peur.
את הצבעת?
לא.
Pourquoi?
La France, c'est fini.
Like it's amazing
Ça
the
m'intéresse
number
pas.
of times the people
Moi
who said
aujourd'hui,
like
c'est Israël.
there
Rak
isn't
Israël.
French is finished. Like that's how they describe it. A lot of them.
כמה זמן את בישראל?
5.
5 שנים.
Quand il y a eu les attentats à Paris, Bataclan,
She moved because of the terrorist attacks in
מי יותר
Bataclan
טוב
and the
לישראל
Hypercacher.
לז'ואיף? לפן או מלנשון?
Le Pen.
La Pen.
Mélenchon, c'est un antisémite. Il aime pas les
Mélenchon
juifs,
is an
il est que
anti-Semitic,
pour les arabes. Il n'y a que la
He devers
Palestine qui
Arabs.
sort de sa bouche.
בישראל יש מלחמה, לא מפחיד?
Je préfère avoir peur en Israël qu'à Paris.
It's like I prefer being afraid in Israel than in Paris.
קראו לך?
ארי.
אתה?
ארי, גם ארי.
Two Aris.
אתם מרגישים
both
שאחרי
names are
7
Ari.
באוקטובר יש יותר עלייה מצרפת לישראל?
Comme la parole s'est libérée, il se permet d'attaquer les juifs dans la rue, de les frapper, de les poursuivre, de mettre des croix gammées
Yeah,
partout.
that's like there are.
C'est un gros problème en France.
הצבעתם בבחירות שהיה שלשום? לא בחרת? אתה?
Non, non.
Jews are
Pour les
getting
Juifs de France,
attacked
j'aurais
everywhere
voté
in
Front
France.
National. RM.
אבל אלה פונד נציונל.
And everybody is asking, but like, what about like the Le Pen? He was like the father. He was like an anti-Semite.
Avant, oui.
I was like,
Mais
yeah, he
aujourd'hui,
was. So what?
Il y a un problème avec le Front Populaire. Ils sont devenus tous antisémites.
Yeah, I saw somebody who said I should collabs. So you guys, like, collabs don't pay off that much. Like, I did collabs. It's not that much different from just a regular video, to be honest. And it just doesn't work this way. If you guys don't if you don't share, don't subscribe, don't like, don't comment, don't watch everything at least, then my channel is not gonna grow. It doesn't matter who I collab with. And I also have my friend Ariel Whiteman, who has the Westerns podcast. He brings like the biggest names, and he still doesn't get enough views. It's like a more of an investment right now. Like, we talk about it a lot. So he brings up like the biggest names to collab with and to interview. You guys, it doesn't really necessarily really pay off anyway. So just for the record. But I'm gonna interview a lot of people in London when I'm gonna be there, and I have a lot of names now that I'm also gonna collaborate with and talk to. But to do that, first of all, it takes time, and I do need to eat as well and have the proper equipment for that. It's not so easy. So yeah. And Shauna, thank you so much. You're amazing with your support. Everybody be like Shauna. Here's a donation for books. I already took your course, but everyone should sign up. Also, you're too cute to just be an engineer. You're so cute, Shauna. I love you. Yes, everybody sign up to the course, which is really good one. I'm gonna make more videos about it, speaking of it and explaining what it does, what it's about, but in general. Yeah, let's continue watching. But with the Mélenchon, like with the left, they're all anti-Semitic. And Macron, he just changes his policy every day. One day like that, one day like that. Can't trust him.
הצבעת בבחירות שהיו בצרפת?
לא אכפת בכלל, שכולם יתפוצצו שם, שהיהודים
Like,
יביאו.
did you vote in the French elections? Like, no, I don't care. Then, as far as I'm concerned, they can all blow up there. that just the Jews should come here.
מי לדעתך טוב יותר ליהודים שנשארו עכשיו בצרפת, לפן או השני מלנשון?
שלי לפן שיעבור.
Like for me, Le Pen is the best if she's going to get elected.
שיהודי יכול ללכת על
Several years ago it wasn't obvious that a Jew could vote for Le Pen, but now,
תאמין לי זה טוב, שכולם יבואו לפה. עכשיו הם לא מתביישים בצרפת, אפילו בכל העולם, לא מתביישים להגיד שהם שונאים את היהודים.
They are not ashamed in France to say that they hate Jews. They just tell it to you on your face with no shame.
כל יום.
אבל תגיד,
It's like every day Jews are getting attacked
יש קהילה מאוד
in
גדולה
France.
ומפוארת וחשובה בצרפת.
And it's like, don't you think it's sad that there is such a big community of Jews in France? And it's like, yeah, but like that happened already. What about the people from Algeria, right? The Algerian Jews, they were waiting and waiting until one day it was like, you leave your stuff here and leave, or that's it for you. And like, at least now you can pack your stuff and leave. You want to wait till the moment there till you won't be even able to take your property with you. So that's life, you know. This is just cheese and wine meat.
I think I'm gonna let you watch the last 3 minutes yourselves. And because my computer is getting pretty hot, I'm gonna stream here. And thank you everybody for being here and your support. I love you so much. I know you cannot see my face right now. You know what? Let me try. Make my face visible at least to say bye. See if it works. Here I am. All right. So everybody, thank you so much for being here. I'm gonna let my computer cool down a little bit, and please do consider supporting this channel in all the ways that I've listed before. Bye, see you later.